we're going to start with the band descriptors first. So just let me know once the screen becomes visible. Right. Just let me stop sharing. Okay. I hope you can see what I'm sharing on the screen. Is it visible?
Yes, now it's visible.
All right, thank you. Okay, so basically, a band descriptor is a set rubric that the evaluator is going to consider while marking you on your essays. So, on the very top left of the screen, you could see band written, and then there's 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. You will never get a 0 unless you don't really turn up on the day of the examination. And the highest marks that you can get is a band 9. And then after that, if you see something which is on the top most of the screen, there are 4 things that you will be basically you will be marked upon. The first is your task response. The next is coherence and cohesion. The next is your lexical resource. And the fourth one is your grammatical range and accuracy. Now, let us just delve a little deep into understanding what basically are these individual band scores. And then we will definitely go into the details of the essay writing. So, per se, if you are someone who is aiming for a not less than a band 8, so you have to consider these 4 rubrics, which is your task response, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, and GRA. Okay. So, under an 8 band score, the first thing that comes under task response is if you have addressed all parts of the task. Now remember, if it is an opinion-based question, for example, if the opinion-based question says that some people think that eating healthy can actually help you in losing weight, to what extent do you agree? Now, here the requirement for you is to first talk about the fact that there are people who consider healthy eating habits can actually help you in shedding off the weight. And then the next thing that you have to do is to give your own opinion. So that was just an example, but depending upon the question, it is expected out of you. If you are aiming for a band score of 8 under task response, you should be able to address all parts of the question. The next is presents a well-developed response to the question with relevant, extended, and supported ideas. Now, you would know, and in the subsequent part, I will teach you that each body paragraph requires you to either have an example. If it is a non-opinion based essay, then you need to have your own observation as well. So here, basically, this is what exactly they imply. They are saying that you need to have a well-developed ideas. You need to have options, like you need to have ideas that directly corresponds with the question. That means if they're asking you about let's say if they're asking you about losing weight, you're not developing ideas on mental health, right? So whatever you write, it has to be contextual in nature. Then if you are just following these 2 things, one of the rubrics gets ticked. That means that you will definitely get an 8 band score. So under task response, you have to address all parts of the question and it should be relevant to the question. So whatever ideas you are developing, it has to be relevant to the question. Okay. Then comes coherence and cohesion. Coherence and cohesion, to understand it very simply, it is basically the sequence of the essay. So each essay will start with an introduction, then 2 body paragraphs, and last it will always have a conclusion. Okay, so you should be able to organize all of these information correctly in a sequence. You should not begin your essay with a conclusion, because again, under coherence and cohesion, you are going to be marked, and if you don't really follow a pattern, you will not really get the desired band. The next is manages all aspects of cohesion well. Cohesion is basically how well knit is your essay. If you have started your essay with a hook, then you have paraphrased the question. Then if it is required for you to give the opinion in the very introduction, if you have done that or not, and then wherever you need to sequence your essay with paragraphs, ideally 2 paragraphs are needed in the essay. which is your body paragraphs. So you have to sequence it well and it should make sense. This comes under coherence and cohesion. The next is lexical resource. Lexical resource, to put it blankly, is basically your vocabulary, the kinds of essays that you use, and also the vocabulary has to be of context again. So let's say if you are aiming for an 8 band score, it is clearly mentioned that uses a wide range of vocabulary fluently and flexibly to convey precise meanings. So that basically means that you have to use synonyms. The next is skillfully uses uncommon lexical items, but there may be occasional inaccuracies in word choices and in collocation, produces errors in spelling and or word formation. This basically means that even though you are using some words that are less commonly used, but even if there is some inaccuracy, meaning that you made a grammatical contextual error, they are going to still overlook it. So maybe if the grammatical error is not too obvious, once or twice here and there, they will still overlook it and still you will get a band score of 8. The next is under grammatical range and accuracy. GRA is basically when you are using a lot of structures like present, past, and future. Also, if you are using sentences that are at majority times, they are error free. And if you are someone who can, like, even if you're making errors, it's not very consequential, it is very occasional. And even if there is some kind of mistake, it's not very repetitive. So if what I'm trying to tell you here is, even if you are making some basic errors, not very frequent, you still have a chance to get an 8 band score. Only that you have to follow the pattern. You should be able to use synonyms well. You should be able to put down your ideas correctly. And also, you should be able to understand the question and what is the question basically asking from you. All of this, if you do, apart from that, even if there is any slight mistakes, the examiner is definitely going to overlook it. So please make yourself familiar with the descriptors. Go for, like, even you can search it, go for the public band scores descriptors and read the kind, like, let's say if you are aiming for a 7, you should know that what exactly is going to be considered if at all you want to get a band score of 7. So any doubts or any questions if you have for the band descriptors, please ask me. If not, let's go into the essay writing. Is it all clear? Is it all clear? Any questions, any doubts? I would suggest you to go through this public band scores, like public band descriptors yourself also, and read every rubric and every band score. So you will see how one band score differs from the other, how, how you can attain the. Okay, Tenzin has a question. In opinion essay, we should talk about the fact as an example. If it is, if you are giving any factual data, if that is what you mean, no, don't give any factual data. But whatever your fact is, you can just change the language by saying, for example, it is observed and then whatever the data is. But do not ever give any factual data, because your in 40 minutes, how did you come? Yeah, you can definitely give a fact as a general idea, but do not give any numbers. Okay, so you will not say 16% of the people believe that. So no numbers, but yes, generally you can definitely, whatever you think as a fact, change it into a general manner and then give that as an example. It's fine. All right, so any more questions, or let's just get into the detail? Okay. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing the screen and I'll share the screen again. Okay. I hope you can see the screen.
Yes, it's visible now.
All right, thank you. Okay, now coming to the essay writing task 2, it's very simple, but just that you should be able to differentiate one essay from the other. So let's start without any further delay. The first thing that we are going to discuss is the overview. Remember that in the task 2, the test takers are going to be given a specific topic or a question to address in the form of an essay, and you need to present a clear position. Clear position means if it is an opinion-based essay, clearly agree or disagree. If it is a non-opinion-based essay, whatever the essay requires you to do exactly that. Then this particular task will be a subject of evaluation of your ability to articulate on ideas. Articulate basically means express yourself to the very clear bit. Basically, how well or how clearly can you express your ideas? Then, if you can develop arguments logically and demonstrates language proficiency. So basically, if you can give your opinion and give your opinion with synonyms, plus your arguments flow like water, there is logic. All of these things are going to be addressed in your writing task 2. Then if you ask me how many words should I write, 250 words are more than enough. But if you want to go more than that, but just don't write less than 250 words, because then you are going to be penalized. And you need to complete writing this entire essay within 40 minutes, because remember, 20 minutes is for report writing or letter writing if you're going for general, but 40 minutes is what you need to write the entire essay. Now, coming to some tips, the first thing is to understand the task. Sometimes the task will
Ma'am,
direct
will it be same for academics also?
academics as in.
I mean, for academics, the number division will be same and time division will be same, right?
Yes, yes. The task 2 will remain the same, and in the time is also going to remain the same 20 minutes for task 1 and 40 minutes for task 2. So, and it's going to be an essay only. So these things are very general. It's generic for essay writing and also for academic and general. So first thing is that you should be able to understand the task. See if the task is directly asking you to take a stand, or if they ask you, or if it is asking you to like discuss both the views and then form your opinion. Here, if you just form the opinion before and then you discuss all the views, you are not really following what was told for you to follow. So make sure you understand the task well. Then plan your essay. Plan your essay is basically when you know what exactly are you going to write. So think about the 2 points. And also those 2 points should be big enough for you to write, because sometimes you think that, okay, I'm going to talk about, let's say, overeating. उसमें भी there are some sub points that you have to cover, but कुछ जो points है वो as an example ही सही रहेंगे, क्योंकि उसमें आप idea develop नहीं कर सकते हो. So when you are thinking of writing, planning your essay, make sure it actually is long enough for you to develop a body paragraph out of it. Not all the ideas will come under body paragraph. Some you can use as examples as well. Then comes the structure of your essay: introduction, body, and conclusion, and use relevant examples. You have to support your body paragraphs with examples or observations. Yes, Ravi Kumar, do you have any questions? Okay.
No, 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 no.
Okay, perfect. Let's move ahead. Coming to language and vocabulary, the essay has to be extremely formal, so no collocations needed. No need for you to use contractions. Basically, like how are you should be written as how, like HOWAREYOU, and not HOW''. Basically, no small words. You have to write the longest words of everything. So if you're writing there is, then you have to write THEREIS, not THERE''. So basically, this is what I'm trying to say. No contractors to be used. You have to use it to the very to the standard word of it. Okay. The next is, do not use any idioms. Not required. Idioms come, like, basically idioms elude the language to be a little informal, and that's the reason why you shouldn't be using any idioms in the writing task 2. The next is, if it is a non-opinion based essay, you will not use personal pronouns. So you will not use I, me, myself anywhere in the essay. You will answer it in a very general way. Okay. The next is check for errors. It goes without saying, we are going to make errors while we write the essay. So the best thing is complete your essay within 38 minutes, so that you have at least good 2 minutes to check your answers. So proofread, see if there is any punctuation error that you made or any grammatical error or any spelling error, rectify it, and then you submit the answer. The next is practice regularly, of course, because there's like plethora of ideas that can be developed while writing the essay. And if you write the essay continuously, you will have a better understanding of ideas. So you should practice various types of essays in order to be prepared so that any type of essay comes your way, you should be able to develop on the idea. All right. So now coming to the next one, we've talked about it. So I think we can definitely move past this one and come to the strategy. The first thing that you have to do is always identify the main idea to be addressed. See what is the main idea or central idea of the question, and you have to develop or knit your essay around that idea. So first see what is the question, what is the requirement of the question. Then after that, you have to take a firm stand only if the question requires you to do that. If it is an opinion-based essay, there of course you have to take a firm stand. But if it is a non-opinion essay, do not really take a stand until and unless the requirement of the question is such. The next is brainstorm for idea. It's very important. Take some time out on the day of the examination. Also, they are going to give you a pen, it's like a spare paper and pen. Use it and come up with two main points that you are going to expand on in the body sections of your essay, and it should be big enough for you to at least cover 250 words, right? Then after that, प्लान सपोर्टिंग पॉइंट्स एंड रेलेवेंट एग्जांपल्स. अगर ओपिनियन बेस्ड ऐसे है तो एग्जांपल्स नहीं भी हो, आपके पास अपना पर्सनल ऑब्जर्वेशन हो तो वो भी चलेगा, बट यू नीड टू हैव सम एग्जांपल्स और ऑब्जर्वेशंस हैंडी इन द बॉडी सेक्शंस ऑफ योर essay. Then comes the organization, connectors and vocabulary. You should be able to use first and
Ma'am,
foremost, yes please.
can we get some in-depth example?
In the subsequent part, yes, I have some examples that we can use. Wait. All right, so let's just quickly go through this and then we are going to discuss all these kinds of essay with an example. So basically, there are 5 kinds of essays to be expected. Only one will come. The first is opinion, argumentative essay. The next is discussion of, it could be discuss both views and then form your essay or form your opinion. The next is advantage and disadvantage type of essay. The next one is problem and solution essay. And the last one is direct question essay. Basically, here they give you a straight question: to what extent do you agree or disagree? Now you don't really have to wriggle around. You know that you either have to agree or you have to disagree. Now coming to the individual parts, the first is opinion or argumentative essay. Here you have to express your opinion on a given topic with examples and relevant ideas. You need to present a clear thesis. Can someone tell me what's a thesis? What's a thesis statement?
Like
Any idea?
research you have to do on that.
That's correct. So in the introduction, when you are paraphrasing the question and also giving your statement, like your point of view, that's basically a thesis statement. And the kind of questions that you, or the kind of instructions to be expected in an opinion or argument essay is: do you agree? Do you agree or disagree? To what extent do you agree or disagree? What is your opinion on this? Any kind of words, remember, it's a direct opinion based essay. You will not sit on the fence. You will not say, I partially agree or disagree. You will have to take a firm stand if you get any of these sentences in your opinion based essay. Okay. Now coming to the next kind, here you can definitely have a look at how to basically address these kinds of questions. Introduction may paraphrase the question and state your opinion in the introduction itself. It will streamline your essay. And basically this is, and then you write a thesis statement where you give 2 of your reasons why you are agreeing. For example, if you say, I completely agree with the statement that eating healthy can help in losing weight, as it betters your metabolism. It helps you with the sleep cycle. So basically, I have my 2 reasons and I've given it in the introduction itself. Now I'm going to delve deeper into these 2 ideas that I gave in the introduction. I will not form a new idea in the body paragraphs. So when you're writing the thesis statement, you should have the 2 reasons correctly, and then in the body paragraphs you just have to explain on the idea. Okay, do not include a new point of view in the body paragraph, and neither in the conclusion, because in the conclusion you are just going to reiterate whatever you have written already in the body paragraph. So here we have some examples. Everybody should donate a fixed amount of their income to support charity. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Remember, you have to either completely agree or you completely disagree. जो भी आपका point of view है उससे वो फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, but एक extreme stand आपको लेना है अगर वो opinion based essay है. Now coming to the next type of essay, which is a discussion essay. इसमें बेसिकली क्या होता है कि आपको दोनों, unless and until the examiner has told you or the question tells you that discuss both views and give your opinion, या वो ये बोल रहा है कि discuss both sides of the argument and then give your opinion, इन दो टाइम जो आपका ऐसे है वो अगेन ओपिनियन बेस्ड बन गया है, बिकॉज लास्ट में आपको अपना पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू देना ही है. बट इफ यू लुक एट द फर्स्ट वन वेयर दे आर जस्ट आस्किंग यू टू डिस्कस बोथ व्यूज, अगर हम गिव योर ओपिनियन हटा दें तो इसमें आपको सिर्फ 2 बॉडी पैराग्राफ्स की ही रिक्वायरमेंट है. बट अदर देन दैट, अगर जो भी है ये तीनों टाइप, इसमें 2 बॉडी पैराग्राफ और तीसरा एक स्विफ्ट बॉडी पैराग्राफ भी होगा. दिस इज एन एक्सेप्शन काइंड ऑफ योर एसे राइटिंग, जहां पे यू नीड टू हैव अ सेपरेट बॉडी पैराग्राफ एंड देयर यू गिव योर ओन ओपिनियन. स्टार्टिंग में ही अपना ओपिनियन मत देना, बिकॉज दे हैव रिटन इट क्लियरली, डिस्कस बोथ व्यूज एंड देन give your own opinion. So discuss both views in 2 body paragraphs, and swiftly in the last one you give your opinion. I hope I made myself clear. Any questions or any doubts so far?
Ma'am, can you give one example?
Yes, just a moment. Okay. Now here what you have to do is, let's take an example as our help. Here the question is, in some countries, companies allow people to work from home. In others, people are still expected to work in an office. Discuss both views and give your own opinion. यहाँ पे discuss both views में आपको generally discussion करना है दोनों views का. यहाँ पे आपको कहीं पे भी मतलब कहीं पे भी जाके नेता नहीं बनना है कि नहीं मेरे हिसाब से ये सही नहीं है, मेरे हिसाब से वो सही नहीं है. बस दोनों पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू को जनरली डिस्कस करो और लास्ट में यू कैन गिव योर ओपिनियन. सो लाइक इफ यू लुक ओवर हियर, द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट यू हैव टू डू इज पैराफ्रेज द क्वेश्चन. द नेक्स्ट इज यू कैन आउटलाइन द क्वेश्चन. सो यहाँ पे आप बोल सकते हो कि इन दिस ऐसे both the points of view will be discussed and then I am going to form my own opinion. फिर बॉडी पैराग्राफ में आप फर्स्ट व्यू पॉइंट को जनरली एक्सप्लेन करेंगे कि क्यों ऐसी कंपनी, मतलब क्यों इन सम कंट्रीज देयर आर companies that allow people to work from home, maybe because they want to cut cost or they want to help save resources, whatever your reason is, but उसको generally address करना है. फिर second body paragraph में आप second view point address करोगे कि क्यों there are places where people are still expected to work. Maybe if you work from, that is because when you work from office you are more dedicated, you have less reasons to sway, so that you have to explain, but explain generally. Then you have to give your own point and conclude. So in the next body paragraph यहाँ पे एक और छोटा सा point, like before you conclude यहाँ पे एक अपना opinion डाल देना, and then you will reiterate it again when you write the conclusion. Okay, because in the question it still says that you have to give both the viewpoints and give your opinion. So in one liner you can definitely say which side, whatever side you completely agree on, and then in conclusion you have to again reiterate your point of view. Okay, now coming to the next kind of essay. Just a second. Okay.
Can I specify, ma'am, in this that in the particular country like USA, even if I go on site, I need to work from home because of the people mentality and like bullet pointed, like first of all people mentality and the kind of the people, because in India the mentality of the people is like they cannot work from home because of the push environment, because they have to adopt to the office environment, but it's not kind of the thing in US. So
Right.
what are the bullet points in this? The bullet points can be, first is the mentality of the people, and the second
Right.
can be can be the cost cutting of the companies because of the higher, yeah, like
But
higher
if you're talking about mentality of the people, that would come under work from office, right? Because that's the reason why you work from the
work from office.
office.
Yes. Yes.
But when you're
So
going to write about work from home, you have to be in support of why people think that working, like there are companies that allow people to work from home. So cost cutting will come here. And then work from office could be that, there's this mentality of people, if you're working from home, you're not doing your best potential. And that's the reason why still there are companies that expect you to work from the office. And then you have to develop on the idea.
okay.
Right? Okay. Okay, let's move further now. Okay, there are three problems or mistakes that people make in the discussion essays. एक तो they never state their opinion. इन्होंने एक बार में एक अपना बता दिया कि हाँ there are people who work from the office. फिर उन्होंने ये बता दिया कि there are people who work from work from home. And then you did not give your own opinion कि आपके according क्या better है. Stating opinion, if you are required to do so, is imperative. If you will not state your opinion, तो आपका task achievement में marks बिल्कुल जाएगा, because the demand of the question was such. The next is not giving arguments of both views. तो अगर आप आर्ग्यूमेंट्स दे रहे हो तो आपको इस साइड का भी देना है कि वर्क फ्रॉम ऑफिस क्यों करते हैं लोग, इस साइड का भी देना है कि वर्क फ्रॉम होम क्यों करते हैं लोग. एंड देन लास्ट में यू हैव टू कम अप विद योर ओन ओपिनियन कि तुम्हारे अकॉर्डिंग क्या बेटर है. फिर the last one, or the last of the errors that people commonly make when they're writing IELTS discussion essays, that is not developing both sides of arguments equally.
मैम ये तो क्या मैम ये तो बॉडी पैराग्राफ 1 हो गया, बॉडी पैराग्राफ 2 हो गया, बट द रीफ्रेजिंग तो इट्स अ इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. तो सेकंड पॉइंट वेयर यू हैव मेंशन द आउटलाइन, बैक में जाएंगे क्या प्रेजेंटेशन में?
Basically, when you're developing the outline, आप उसको ऐसे कर सकते हो कि this essay is going to talk about both the sides and then I will form my own opinion. तो आपने introduction itself, you've told that you are going to talk about both the sides, plus you are going to give your opinion. मतलब
and where I will write that mentality and cost cutting, where I'll write, so outline में लिख दूं क्या? So I have
you don't have
opinion.
to no you don't have to include this in the introduction, क्योंकि फिर आपका introduction बहुत ज्यादा लंबा हो जाएगा, क्योंकि आपको फिर एक साइड की भी बताना होगा कि लेट्स से मेंटालिटी और कॉस्ट कटिंग, फिर दूसरे साइड का भी डेवलप करना पड़ेगा, फिर आप ये भी बोलोगे कि मेरा आइडिया ये है. इससे बेटर है कि आप बस ये लिखो कि दिस ऐसे विल डिस्कस बोथ द साइड्स एंड देन आई विल फॉर्म माय ओपिनियन. फिर यू कैन इन द इंट्रोडक्शन आप एक अपना कॉस्ट कटिंग वाला पॉइंट डाल सकते हो और मेंटालिटी वाला डाल सकते हो, एंड देन यू कैन जस्ट कंक्लूड. Okay, so this is what, all right.
So
now,
it's
yes, Isha, please.
you're saying that 50-50% weightage we need to give for both the points, both the sides?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Like basically you have to develop, अगर first paragraph आपका let's say 5 lines का है, तो second body paragraph को 2 line में आप खत्म मत करो. At least have a balance between the lines and the content of what you're writing. It should be perfectly balanced, because introduction and conclusion can be lesser in number, because it's basically at a glance you understand the essay. But the ideas, the body paragraph has to be equal. So 50-50% ratio is what is an ideal ratio.
Okay.
Okay. Now coming to the next type of essay, the advantage and disadvantage essay. इसमें क्या होता है कि कभी कभी वो या तो आपसे पूछेगा कि डिस्कस द एडवांटेज एंड डिसएडवांटेज. यहाँ पे आपको ऐसे बिल्कुल भी जनरली देना है, यू डोंट हैव टू गिव योर ओपिनियन. बट इफ द क्वेश्चन सेज, or do you think that the advantage overweighs the disadvantage? Outweigh का मतलब ही यही हुआ कि अगर जब तक आप नहीं सोचोगे कि क्या ज्यादा easy है या क्या ज्यादा better है, how are you going to discuss that? So this is an opinion based essay and hence you have to form an opinion. So please read the question carefully, see which category of the question have you gotten, and then write and develop on the ideas. Okay. Now coming to the next one, अगर आपका एडवांटेज आउटवे डिसएडवांटेज है तो उसने क्लियरली आपसे पूछा है कि क्या एक साइड ज्यादा has more essence than the next वाला side. So यहाँ पे आपको of course you have to take a side. Okay, so even if directly the essay has not asked you to take a side, it definitely means that you are required to do that, because unless and until you know that this side is heavier than the other one, how are you going to tell that? So outweigh में you have to form an opinion, or discuss both advantage and disadvantage में you don't have to form an opinion. Okay. Advantage outweigh means more advantage, ma'am. Yes. ये इसमें पूछ रहा है कि क्या आपको ऐसा लगता है कि एडवांटेज ज्यादा है डिसएडवांटेज से? ऑफ कोर्स आपको लगता है, मतलब ये एक ओपिनियन बेस्ड ऐसे है, तो यू शुड बी एबल टू एग्जैक्टली अंडरस्टैंड what kind of an opinion, sorry, what kind of an essay it is, and then write accordingly. Okay, so ये हो गया, इसका भी एक पैटर्न है, लेट्स जस्ट वेरी स्विफ्टली डिस्कस दिस. जैसे अगर ये क्वेश्चन है, new technologies have changed the way children spend their free time. Do you think the advantages of this trend outweigh the disadvantage? अब इसमें आपको बताना है कि क्या आप इस क्वेश्चन से सहमत है या नहीं है. तो कैसे करना है इसको? First, you're going to paraphrase the question. New technologies, you can definitely say technology is increasing by leaps and bounds. This is something that you can include. Like, अगर technology का कोई भी question है, you can use this phrase. Technology is increasing by leaps and bounds. इसका मतलब ये होता है कि नई नई टेक्नोलॉजी आ रही है हर रोज. या अगर कोई भी टेक्नोलॉजी से रिलेटेड है तो आप बोल सकते हो इन टुडेज कटिंग एज वर्ल्ड technology is increasing, and then it has changed, it has transformed the way young adults spend their free time or leisure time. इसमें आपने इसको बेसिकली पैराफ्रेज कर दिया. फिर आपको बोलना है डू यू थिंक एडवांटेजेस ऑफ दिस ट्रेंड आउटवे द डिसएडवांटेज. यहाँ पे इंट्रोडक्शन में ही आपको अपना ओपिनियन देना है, क्योंकि उसने सवाल ही आपको ऐसे पूछा है कि शुरुआत में ही आपको बताना है कि एडवांटेज ज्यादा है या नहीं है. तो आप ऐसे ही बोलोगे आई कंप्लीटली थिंक दैट द एडवांटेजेस डेफिनेटली आउटवे द डिसएडवांटेज, एंड आई विल बी एक्सप्लेनिंग दिस इन द सब्सिक्वेंट पैराग्राफ्स. फिर आपको दोनों में in the first body paragraph you have to talk about the first advantage. In this next body paragraph you have to talk about the next advantage, and in the third paragraph you have to explain at least one disadvantage, but isko aisa bada disadvantage mat batana, you have to counter it as well, and then you just have to conclude. और कंक्लूजन में हमेशा याद रखना, you should never have a new point. It should be just a reiteration of whatever you've written, including your point of view, so including your opinion. So this is basically how we do an advantage and disadvantage ऐसे. अब अगर तुम्हारे को एक एडवांटेज और डिसएडवांटेज सिंपल ऐसे मिला है, इसमें आपको कुछ भी नहीं करना है. एक पैराग्राफ में एडवांटेज लिखोगे, दूसरे पैराग्राफ में डिसएडवांटेज लिखोगे. कहीं पे भी आपको नेता नहीं बनना है. आपको ये नहीं कहना आई इन माय ओपिनियन द एडवांटेजेस आर मोर, द एडवांटेजेस आर लेस, नथिंग. just directly answer it generally unless and until you are asked to do it otherwise. Simple. ठीक है. ये है एक एग्जाम्पल एडवांटेज और डिसएडवांटेज का. पहले बॉडी पैराग्राफ में अगर उसने एडवांटेज बोला है तो पहले पैराग्राफ में आप एडवांटेज लिखोगे. यहीं अगर उसने बोला होता कि व्हाट आर द डिसएडवांटेजेस एंड एडवांटेजेस, तो वैसे ही आप अपने पैराग्राफ को फॉर्म करते एंड देन कंक्लूड. ठीक है. द नेक्स्ट इज प्रॉब्लम एंड सोल्यूशन काइंड ऑफ ऐसे. इट इज ऑल्सो वेरी सिंपल. In the first body paragraph, problem. In the next body paragraph, solution, without including any personal pronouns. Is basically how you do it. यहाँ पे इसका एक और इसी का दूसरा टाइप होता है cause and effect. सेम तरीके का होता है, but it's just that you have to talk about the causes, क्या इससे होता है, and the effect कि क्या इस पे effect पड़ता है. So again, if you get a question like this, you have to again, मतलब पैटर्न पूरा सही है, सेम रहेगा. बस अगर आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं कि डू यू थिंक एडवांटेजेस आउटवे द डिसएडवांटेज, इसमें भी आपको एक सेपरेट पैराग्राफ चाहिए होता है जिसमें आप लेट्स से अगर आप डिसएडवांटेज को सपोर्ट कर रहे हो तो डिसएडवांटेज कैसे ज्यादा है, बट एडवांटेज की भी बात करोगे आप, बट स्विफ्टली. So if you want an in-depth way of writing this essay, you can book a demo with us and we are going to tell you in depth, because live में explaining everything to the core is actually not possible. So the last one is the direct question essay. इसमें जो होता है कि आपसे जो है वो here is an example. See, here the question is, do you think the art still have a place in our modern lifestyle? Should the arts be included in our school curriculum? देखो ये भी directly आपसे एक question पूछ रहा है. So basically you have to paraphrase the question, then state your answers to both the question. Okay, वैसे ये टाइप का जो क्वेश्चन होता है ये बहुत seldom आता है, but you should have an idea. अगर ऐसा कोई क्वेश्चन आ जाए तो how are you going to answer? And then again body paragraph में आप first का आंसर करोगे, जैसे कि do you think that art still have a place in our modern lifestyle? Second body paragraph में आप second का आंसर करोगे and then you conclude. Okay, so this is how you basically do the different kinds of essays. I am going to swiftly talk about some common errors that people make. If you have any doubts till now, please do ask me. Is it all clear? ठीक है, ठीक है, आई एम अज्यूमिंग इट इज क्लियर. ठीक है, तो फर्स्ट थिंग दैट यू हैव टू डू इज, जो टास्क रिस्पॉन्स में एक एरर होती है वो ये होती है कि बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स एक्चुअली में जो उनसे बोला गया है वो नहीं करते हैं. जैसे उन्होंने बोला कि डिस्कस बोथ व्यूज एंड देन फॉर्म योर ओपिनियन. देयर विल बी सम स्टूडेंट्स हु विल नॉट एक्चुअली डिस्कस बोथ द व्यूज. वो पहले ही अपना ओपिनियन फॉर्म करके बैठ जाएंगे एंड देन यू क्राई एट द एंड कि मतलब मैंने तो सब कुछ किया था, मेरे बैंड स्कोर क्यों नहीं है. ऑफ कोर्स यू डिड नॉट complete complete what was required from you. So please make sure that you're reading the task carefully and you understand basically what is to be done. The next is misinterpreting the information. अगर वो causes and effect वाला है तो आपको उसको उसी तरीके से address करना है. अगर वो advantage and disadvantage है तो आपको सिर्फ advantage और disadvantage लिखना है, उसके अलावा कुछ भी नहीं लिखना है. The next is lack of clear thesis statement. थीसिस स्टेटमेंट इज इम्पेरेटिव क्योंकि उसमें आप पैराफ्रेज भी करते हो अपने स्टेटमेंट को, अपना ओपिनियन भी देते हो, एंड देन यू बेसिकली गिव अ जिस्ट ऑफ व्हाट योर एसे इज गोइंग टू कंटेन. सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू मेक श्योर टू प्लीज मेक श्योर दैट you have a thesis statement. The next is weak supporting arguments. If you are not explaining your side, then you will not really justify the essay. और इसीलिए important होता है कि कुछ ऐसे points होते हैं जो कि example के लिए ठीक है क्योंकि उसमें आपको develop नहीं करना है idea, और कुछ ऐसे points होते हैं जिसमें आपको actually में explain करना है. So while planning the essay, make sure you choose the topic where you can actually develop the idea in at least 5 to 6 lines, and then जो भी ऐसा है कि 1 line का idea है, you can use it as an example and play safe. Okay, because if you will not plan the essay and you will start writing, तो जब आप लिखोगे तो आपको 10,000 ideas आएंगे और फिर आप confuse हो जाओगे. So make sure you are spending enough time in planning the essay as well.
Ma'am, I have one question that
Please.
in the last kind of essay, when there is direct questioning based essay, so in the advantage disadvantage type essay or opinionated essay, we have 2 paragraphs for advantage, for disadvantage or something. But when they are asking directly the question, do you think that kind of, how we will like develop 2 paragraphs?
Okay. See, if it is a direct, उसको direct kind of question इसलिए बोलता है क्योंकि वो आपको directly 2 सवाल दे देता है कि what do you think is the fine line between this and this, and then there will be another question. तो basically वो 2 part में divide होता है. Directly आपसे पूछता है कि इस पे ही बस जवाब दो. तो जो भी वो question, जैसे अब let me see if we can, जैसे यहाँ पे if we see there are 2 questions, right? Second वाला ले लेता है. News editor decides what to broadcast on television and what to print in the newspaper. What factors do you think influence these decisions? Do we become used to bad news? Would it be better if more good news was reported? ये डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चंस है ना. इसका या तो आप यस में आंसर दोगे या तो आप नो में आंसर दोगे. तो इन क्वेश्चंस में यू ऑलवेज हैव टू पुट योरसेल्फ इन द क्वेश्चंस पोजीशन कि हाँ, अगर मुझे ऐसा हो जाए कि मुझे जो है सिर्फ बैड न्यूज मिल रही है, एम आई गोइंग टू बी ओके विद इट. सो यू हैव टू डेवलप योर आंसर अकॉर्डिंगली, पुट योरसेल्फ इनटू द क्वेश्चंस पोजीशन. जैसे यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन है, शुड दी आर्ट बी इंक्लूडेड इन स्कूल करिकुलम. अब वो तुम्हारा आपका अपना पर्सनल डिसीजन है. अगर आप बोलते हो कि यस, it should be included because it helps you with your creative section of your mind, and then you explain on the idea. अगर आप बोल रहे हो नहीं तो क्यों नहीं, that you have to explain. So these are very direct questions. It's almost like the first section of the speaking test where they ask you very direct questions जिसका या तो हाँ आंसर होगा या तो ना आंसर होगा. So put yourself into the questions position and come up with the ideas. Okay. With this,
Okay, ma'am.
I am pretty much done. Any questions or any doubts that you have, please do ask me now. Anything that you did not understand, please do ask me.
Ma'am,
In,
ma'am,
in
one
this,
question.
both questions have to
Ma'am.
attend or only one?
Can we go one by one, please? Please, Ravi.
Ma'am, actually, I just want to segregate the body paragraph. See, writing an idea is different, but I just want different essays, right? I want that body one, body two. That I want that one. Like every question has every your opinion. I need to put an outline, rephrase, thesis, and then that one I want to segregate part.
You want me to show the slide or?
Yeah. Just I want to see the different types of slide for a different type of body format.
Wait a second. I'll do that. Okay. Anything else?
Nothing else, ma'am.
All right, just give me a second. I'll just. All right, so these are the different kinds of essays and how you do it. Apart from that, if you have any more questions, anyone, Tenzin, you
Ma'am,
can ask.
uh,
Yes.
sometimes they will ask in question like that, negative and positives. And that is what type. It is what that is what type of question actually means.
Can you give me an example? Because I have never heard of
Ma'am,
negatives
can you
and
please share the
positives.
slide? Can you please just share the slide in PDF?
I think what you can do is, Ravi, this will be uploaded on YouTube. So you can just take screenshots of this,
Okay, no worries, ma'am.
right? Okay. So, Tenzin, can you give me an example of the question?
Uh, I have I have seen that in some questions they are asking negative and positive, like online education or like offline. Is it a negative or positive? Means
It's
it's like
advantage and disadvantage,
it's same
basically.
only disadvantage, right, ma'am?
Right, right. But if they're talking about the negative and positive, talk about the advantage or like first of all, see if they're asking you the negatives and positives of online education, or
Hmm.
they're asking you the negatives and positives of offline education. So first, it's important to understand the question. Then, depending upon the question, you have to, if it is talking about the negatives of, let's say, online education, that means the disadvantage. So it falls under
Hmm.
advantage and disadvantage.
Hmm. Okay, ma'am.
All right. Any more
Okay.
questions? Anything that you want? Any more doubts or something? Just give me a second. Sami? So this was my bit. Anything else that you have, you can ask. If not, we can definitely
Ma'am,
call it a
and
day.
writing
Yes.
task too, we can write maximum this one words 270 and 280.
Yes, you can write 270 to 280, but do not go beyond that because Tenzin, you have just 40 minutes, right? Writing more will not give you like 10-man score because that is out of scope. So stay within 240, 50, sorry, 270 to 80 is fine, but don't go beyond that.
So the examiner will not read like all. They will read all right, like first and the during
I
the
can't,
correct
can you come again, please? Can you come
uh,
again?
during the evaluation time.
Mhm.
Whether examiner will read all our essay that we have mentioned during the exam, like all they will write, and according to that they will give marks, right?
Yes, yes. But the thing is that if you write, let's say,
If
even
I
if you write,
give more than like 300, and then they won't, they will reduce the marks, or like
they will not reduce the marks.
but
It's
they will.
only for your good.
Hmm. For
You
better,
just have to write more than
safer side,
250 words. Sorry, say it again.
for the safer side, like so that we can write a little bit more. It make no issue, right?
No, no issue. But the thing is, will you be able to complete everything in 40 minutes? That's the question.
Uh,
And the requirement is to write more than 250 words, but they have not specified how many words. So we stay on the safe side and we write around 280 words, and that's it.
yes, ma'am. No, it's depend upon the question. If the question is much easier, we can elaborate more. If the question is little bit tough, so it's difficult to generate the idea, and so we can write like maximum number. Like, okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay.
Can I see the last slide where there was the question about newspaper editors something?
I have actually closed the slides again. This will be uploaded on YouTube, so you just take a little pen and go there and just take a screenshot because
Thank
I've
you.
so sorry, I've just closed the slides. Okay. Any more questions, or if it is all done, then we can call it a day. And if Raza sir, I don't know why my thing becomes so. If Raza sir is here in the meeting, so you can come and you can share your 2 cents. If not, then we can end the meeting. All right. So I hope every of your question, everything is sorted, and we can end the session now.
Excuse me,
Tomorrow
ma'am,
we
can I ask
again.
something?
Yes. Anyone was asking a question?
Yeah, I'm Alia. I'm asking something.
Yes, Alia, please.
I joined the course late and I couldn't attend it attentively. So, is there another session coming up, and where can I register?
Yes, you can register for every session. Basically, Monday to Friday, we have the sessions going on. And if you want something to be told to you personally as a demo, we also have free demos. You just have to tell me whether you want it or not. Otherwise, and if there are certain sessions that you missed, we have a YouTube channel. You can just go to the channel, look for the live session, and we have everything over
Where
there.
can I register for the next class?
You can register. I'll ask someone to get you added to the group, and from there you can register, or you can just visit our site. Let me paste the slide, the site website, and you can just click on every session, and that in that way you will be registered. Just give me a second. Let me put the slide under IELTS.
Hello, ma'am. Your video is freezed. Paste the website. I
Anyone?
couldn't get it.
Yes, please. The Mayanti, you're saying something?
Yes, your video got freeze. That's why you couldn't hear what I was saying. But can you please
Actually,
paste
my
the
internet
website?
access just got lost. Yes, please
Okay,
say.
can you paste the website link so I can register?
Did I not? Okay, let me just paste it again. In the chatbot, I already have. Just click on the link and you will have
Got
a
it, ma'am.
section called IELTS Daily. You can register from there. Okay, I think everything is sorted now. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining the session. Take care, everyone. Bye.